Imagine investing in the company that could become Nvidia's biggest competitor before Wall Street fully prices it in. Sounds impossible? Maybe not. While everyone is talking about Nvidia, another semiconductor giant has been quietly making billion-dollar moves in artificial intelligence. That company is AMD. Some analysts believe AMD could become one of the biggest winners of the AI revolution. Others argue it's still years behind Nvidia, so who's right? And more importantly, is AMD stock still worth buying in 2026? Stay until the end because one overlooked part of AMD's business could completely change the way investors value this company over the next few years. The AI gold rush has changed everything. Artificial intelligence isn't just another technology trend. It's becoming one of the biggest technological shifts in decades. Every major technology company, Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, Google, OpenAI, and countless startups, need enormous computing power. That computing power comes from advanced chips. For years, Nvidia dominated this market. Its AI chips became the industry standard. Its stock delivered extraordinary returns. Many investors now believe they already missed Nvidia. And that's exactly why attention is shifting toward AMD. The big question is, can AMD become the next major AI success story? AMD is no longer just a PC chip company. Years ago, most people knew AMD for making processors used in desktop computers. Today, the company has transformed into something much bigger. AMD now operates across several high-growth markets: high-performance CPUs, artificial intelligence accelerators, data center processors, gaming chips, cloud computing, embedded systems, and enterprise computing. This diversification has made AMD a much more important player than many investors realize. The woman behind AMD's incredible comeback: every successful company usually has great leadership. For AMD, that leader is CEO Lisa Su. When she became CEO, AMD faced enormous challenges. The company struggled to compete with much larger rivals. But over the years, Lisa Su completely transformed AMD. The company introduced competitive processors, won market share, expanded into enterprise computing, and became one of the world's leading semiconductor companies. Today, many investors consider her one of the most respected CEOs in the technology industry. Leadership matters, especially in industries that change as quickly as artificial intelligence. Why data centers could be AMD's biggest opportunity? Here's something many new investors don't fully understand. The future of AI isn't just about chatbots. It's about the massive data centers powering them. Every AI model, every cloud service, every machine learning application requires thousands of powerful processors working together. This creates enormous demand for high-performance chips. AMD has invested heavily in products designed specifically for these workloads. The company is competing aggressively in one of the fastest-growing technology markets on Earth. If AMD continues winning customers, its long-term revenue could grow far beyond traditional PC sales. The Nvidia challenge, of course. There is one company standing directly in AMD's way: Nvidia. Nvidia remains the market leader in AI chips. It has strong software, strong customer relationships, and enormous momentum. So, can AMD realistically compete? Many industry experts believe there is enough demand for more than one successful AI chip company. The global AI market continues expanding rapidly. Even capturing a modest share of that growth could represent a significant opportunity for AMD. But execution will be critical, because competing against an industry leader is never easy. Wall Street is watching closely. Institutional investors, analysts, and hedge funds continue watching AMD very carefully. Why? Because every new product launch, every AI partnership, every earnings report could provide clues about AMD's long-term future. Some believe AMD is only beginning its AI journey. Others remain cautious, and that's exactly what creates opportunity and risk. But here's what many investors still overlook. The next phase of AMD's growth may have very little to do with gaming PCs. Instead, it could come from something much bigger. We'll explain exactly what that means, What could drive AMD's next phase of growth? Now let's talk about the biggest question. What could actually push AMD stock higher over the next several years? The answer starts with one word: artificial intelligence. Companies around the world are spending billions of dollars building AI infrastructure. Cloud providers, technology giants, research companies, and governments all need faster and more powerful computing. That demand isn't expected to disappear overnight. AMD has been launching new AI accelerators designed specifically for these massive workloads. If customers continue adopting these products, AMD could strengthen its position in one of the fastest-growing technology markets in history. Cloud computing is another major opportunity. Artificial intelligence isn't the only growth engine. Cloud computing continues expanding every year. Businesses increasingly rely on cloud platforms to run applications, store data, analyze information, and develop AI services. Those cloud providers need powerful processors. AMD has steadily increased its presence in this market. The more cloud infrastructure grows, the larger AMD's potential customer base becomes. This is one reason many long-term investors remain optimistic. But investors shouldn't ignore the risks. Every great investment opportunity comes with risks. AMD is no exception. The biggest challenge: competition. NVIDIA remains the dominant AI chip company. Intel continues investing heavily. New AI chip developers are also entering the market. Winning market share won't be easy. Another risk is execution. Designing advanced semiconductor chips requires enormous research spending. Product delays, manufacturing issues, or weaker than expected customer demand could affect future results. The semiconductor industry is also highly cyclical. Demand can rise quickly, but it can also slow during weaker economic periods. That's why investors should always think long-term. Is AMD stock too expensive? This is another question investors ask all the time. Some people believe AMD already reflects much of its future growth. Others believe the market still underestimates its AI potential. The truth is, valuation depends on future earnings. If AMD continues increasing revenue from AI chips, data centers, and cloud computing, today's valuation could look very different several years from now. But if growth slows, the stock may face pressure. That's why investors should focus on business performance, not just daily stock price movements. Should beginners buy AMD? If you're new to investing, never buy a stock simply because everyone else is talking about it. Instead, ask yourself a few important questions. Do you understand the business? Do you believe artificial intelligence will continue growing over the next decade? Can you handle short-term price swings? If the answer is yes, AMD may deserve further research as part of a diversified portfolio. Many experienced investors combine broad market ETFs with carefully selected growth companies like AMD. Diversification helps reduce risk while still providing exposure to innovative businesses. Final verdict. So, is AMD stock still worth buying in 2026? AMD operates in several of the fastest-growing technology markets in the world. Artificial intelligence, cloud computing, data centers, high-performance computing. These industries could continue expanding for years. At the same time, competition remains intense. Success is never guaranteed. For long-term investors, the key isn't predicting next week's stock price. It's understanding whether AMD can continue executing its strategy over the next 5 to 10 years. If it does, the company could remain one of the most important players in the AI revolution. But every investor should evaluate both the opportunities and the risks before making any investment decision. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to Wall Street Pulse for more in-depth analysis of AMD, NVIDIA, Tesla, Amazon, Palantir, Microsoft, Bitcoin, and the biggest investing opportunities shaping the future. And don't miss our next episode. You won't want to miss that one.